Good afternoon, or almost afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited to be kicking off another year of the Moving Flint Forward grant program. Today's informational webinar is intended to help you prepare for the application process, talk about next steps, and what to expect if you are accepted into the program. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the agenda and we will get started. So throughout today's presentation, again, we're going to do some welcome and introductions, go over the purpose of the grant program, eligibility requirements, grant amount and payment information, the application process, requirements of the grant, and review committee evaluations and what that looks like. We'll talk about a timeline of when to expect to hear back, and then open it up for Q&A. This webinar will be recorded and available on our Facebook page and YouTube channel following today's presentation, so you can review back to the information at any time, or if you won't be on for the full time, it'll live there for you to review later on. Feel free to ask your questions at any time by adding a comment into the chat feature, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, and we will address those at the end of today's presentation. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Eric to kick us off.
Thanks, Bree. So I also have Tracy Joseph here as my colleague, who is a big part of the Moving Flint Forward program. And so we just want to introduce you to some of the staff that you will be working with if you are accepted. And so first and foremost, Tracy is our frontline person. She'll be reaching out to you with any questions. You can reach out to her if you have questions or are having trouble with our system. There's also myself, Eric Anderchuk, the Director of Grants and Development. You can reach out to me at any time if you have any troubles trying our new software, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Bree will be also a part of the program, and she will be working as part of our cohort coordination when we get to our training, and we have our experts providing us really awesome information about how to move your small business forward. And then Tyler Rossmessler is the Executive Director of the Flint Genesee Economic Alliance, and he will be overseeing the program as well. So that's who you'll be working with, and let's get into some more details. So first and foremost, we need to thank General Motors. They are our funder in this program. They have provided us with the funds to grant out to you and to incorporate our training programs. And the purpose of this is to be a collaborative effort between our two organizations. And it's designed to help small businesses get that boost that they need to move their business to the next level. We're looking at entrepreneurs and startups who have been in business at least a year, have a little bit of footing in the ground, but now we want to get you onto the next stage and really growing your business. And so we're excited to see about the opportunities that you have in mind and the projects that you want to try. And so we're excited to see your applications. I do want to mention that this is not a COVID relief grant. And it's not really for emergency or immediate operational needs. You should have those things covered. But this is really about growing your business. And businesses should not be requesting funds for rent or mortgage, utilities, past debts, or taxes. I'm going to hand it off to Tracy to go over the eligibility requirements.
Absolutely. So in order to qualify for this grant, you must own and operate a business within the city of Flint. You have to be an adult over 18 years of age. You have to have fewer than 20 employees. Business must be in existence a minimum of a year, and we do check the LARA licensing, so make sure that you are in good standing with the state. You have to provide business finance statement, bank or credit card statement with a minimum available balance of $3,000, and we will explain that in the next few slides as to why that is a request this year. The business can't be a franchise or a nonprofit. And also the business plan is expected the time of submission. Like I just said, you have to be in good standing at the state of Michigan, and you cannot be in the middle of a bankruptcy and at the date of submission. The business owners must not be listed on the Michigan State Police Sex Offender Registry, and you cannot be an employee or an immediate family member of an employee of the Flint and Genesee Group.
So what's new this year? So the most new function that you'll be seeing right off the bat is our new software. We've moved a little forward in our technological abilities here at the group, and we have utilized our new software called Grant Lifecycle Manager. And this is going to be taking care of all aspects of the grant, from determining your eligibility to applying for the grant program. We also will be having our review committee working in this system, so they will be evaluating your application right in this system. And then we'll also be doing the reporting. So when you submit documents, if you are selected, you'll be also doing that through this system. So that's the biggest thing that's new, and we're hoping that this will streamline the process. We can make payments quicker and faster, and we can just move along a lot quicker in this way. Another new element is that you will be you have 1 month less to work out your program or project this year. So we're asking that all the projects be done by November 1st. Last year we were going into December, but we need a little additional time to get all of our documents in place so that we can report back to General Motors how the program went. Another new element is we have indicated that we would like to have a business financial statement. As Tracy mentioned, this is either a business bank account statement or a credit card statement that shows that you have an available balance of a minimum of $3,000. This is only to determine eligibility. This will not be reviewed by our review committee. It's only internal staff only. And the reason why we're doing this is that this grant is reimbursable, meaning that you have to pay for things especially at the end of the program, on your own first before you can get that last payment. So we just want to ensure that you have that ability to make those grant purchases ahead of time, and that there won't be any issues at the end of the program when it comes time to finalizing the grant, and that you have everything you need to be able to move forward and close it out. So that's the only new things that we're doing this year.
This one's you too.
So when it comes to the application process, you'll be able to go to the Develop Flint and Genesee website. The link is right there, but you can also just search Moving Flint Forward, and it'll probably take you to the right website right off the bat. From there, you'll access our new software, Grant Lifecycle Manager, for the grantee portal. You'll create a profile or account for your business, and you'll apply for the opportunity called Moving Flint Forward 2024. What's nice about this application system is that once you've entered in this info, then you won't have to enter it again, and it'll be there for us for future funding opportunities. So we'll be able to store a history of your applications if you are awarded or you're not selected. And that way, once we have new grant funding opportunities in the future, that stuff will already be stored in there for you. So it'll be a lot less work the next time you apply. There will also be, once you get your profile set up, there will be LOI eligibility questions. Now, LOI stands for letter of intent or letter of inquiry, but really what it is 6 simple questions that ask you, are you located in the city of Flint? Are you a small business with less than 20 employees? Are you a franchise? Are you a nonprofit? These will determine your eligibility. And then once you have submitted that, we'll review it. And it usually takes us less than 24 hours. And we'll let you know if it's time to fill out a full application. If you're not eligible, we don't want to waste your time in filling out an application that you would not be selected for or disqualified for immediately because of your status. So instead of having you go throughout that full application, we just want to get a few bits of information from you first. And then you'll get an email to be invited to fill out the full application if everything is okay. The completed applications need to be received by 5 p.m. on Friday, March 15th. So in our system, you'll have to hit submit on the application process and uploaded the requested documents that we have. And then we plan to announce who our selected grantees are in early May of this year. And we'll be selecting 17 new grantees for the cohort, and we'll be selecting 7 alumni grantees. So if you are a first-time applicant to this program and you're a new grantee, there'll be a different pay structure than the alumni. So you'll be awarded up to $10,000 for expanded business operations, if you need to make repairs to your building or facade improvements, purchase inventory or equipment for your business. Funds are not to be used to pay for past debts or taxes and rent or utilities. Those things are not covered under this grant program. If you are selected, you will get 40% of the grant right after the grant agreement has been signed up front. So you will get a portion of this grant ahead of time that will get you started on the program. Once you've met our middle of the road requirements, meaning that we've had a site visit or you've at least talked to our staff and let us know how your progress is going on your projects, then we'll move you on to the second payment, which is 30% of the total $10,000. And then the last step will be once you've submitted all your receipts and your documentation and you've made your final purchases, then we'll give you that last 30%. So that part is the reimbursable part that we need to make sure you have those funds for ahead of time. One thing to make aware of is that grant documents take time for us to review. And sometimes there's some issues that we have to work out, meaning that we need to clarify some questions, or the documents you've submitted aren't fully what we need or don't have everything that we need on it. So it does take us a little time to process those requests. So please plan ahead that it could take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to get those grant checks once you've initiated the next step. Next, we're going to go over our alumni grantee schedule and amounts. So alumni grantees can apply up to $5,000 for the same types of things: to expand your business, to make repairs or leasehold improvements, purchase inventory or equipment. Again, funding is not allowed for taxes, past debts, rent, utilities, that kind of stuff. And then in this payment schedule, you'll get 50% of the grant after signing the grant agreement, and then 50% at the end once you've, again, supplied all of those receipts and the documents that we need to have. Again, give us at least 2 to 4 weeks to get those checks issued to you, just because we need time to go through and make sure that all of the documents are A-OK and that you've followed our program as you said you would.
Okay, I'm going to go over the requirements of the grant. The grantees must attend 4 mandatory cohort meetings for networking and technical assistance training. These are the ones that we mentioned earlier, and they're a lot of fun. So we're not going to make you suffer in that at all. You're going to really like them and enjoy the trainings. You must also submit an interim report by August 2nd, and that is really just a few simple questions like how your project is going, what's next on the list, do you feel like you're going to be in compliance by the end of the grant period. And then also we require a final report by November 1st. That's to be submitted with all your receipts, and it's a discussion of the completion of the project. You have to submit all your financial documentation to close out the grant. And we also ask that you participate in any publicity efforts, such as being available for photos or videos. General Motors really enjoys hearing your stories, so that would be an extra addition to the grant. We'd also appreciate providing quotes and or success stories, and to participate in any press events.
The review committee and evaluation process. So evaluations will be based on the following criteria. These are really based off of the questions that are in the application. So if you answer these questions and you provide enough detail that the review committee feels like they know who you are and can accurately review your application on a fair and balanced kind of way, this is how they will be scoring. And they will have a rubric which is available on the website for you to review, so you can see how the scoring works out. But they're looking for your business history. They want you to talk about where you decided to start this business. Why did you start this business? Have you been in the community for a long time? What kinds of things do you do outside of your business to participate in community events? So those are things we would need to hear to understand your background. We need to hear about what's in your business plan. That's a thing that you need to upload into the application. So we want to make sure that you're thinking about the future and that you have plans for the future, and that this funding opportunity fits in with those plans. You're not coming up with this out of nowhere, that it fits into how you want to move your business in the next 5 years. So that's another way that we determine the sustainability of your business and the quality of how you plan to go forward. We also are looking for a statement of needs. So, have you had an economic hardship? Why are you requesting these funds? Is this project difficult to get started because of the funding needed, or you just have difficulty in understanding how to get it going? So what is it that you want to do? And then, and also in addition, how do you plan to pay for it? We need to know what the estimates of these items are, and that it matches up with the scope of work for your project. So a lot of that will be a big chunk of what they'll be looking at in the review is what you propose matching up to what you want to do with your business plan and the future of your business. Also, we are looking to identify minority-owned businesses. We want to provide these funding opportunity to minority-owned businesses, and that is a guideline that General Motors has provided to us. And so we've asked you to identify if you are a minority-owned business, and that will help us determine that we have the right eligibility. So timeline. So when are things going to happen? Excuse me. So we've already made the public announcement that went out on February 19th. It's been in the press. It's on our social media and our websites. Grantees must apply by that deadline of Friday at 5 p.m. on March 15th. Our review committee will be reviewing the applications in early April of 2024. That's a typo, clearly. And then we plan to make our announcement of grantees on May 10th or around that time. That is the National Small Business Day. And so we're hoping to highlight the opportunities we provided to some small businesses in our community. Again, the interim report is due August 2nd. So you'll need to have your project halfway finished or started by that point. And that way we know that you will finish in time. And then the final report is due on November 1st. That means we need to have all of your documents, your receipts, and your projects all need to be wrapped up by November 1st. So with that, those are the basics. Are there any questions out there that we can answer, or any additional things that we can provide?
So as we mentioned, if you have questions, please feel free to type them into the comment section, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll address those at this time. Tracy, can you talk, a little bit about what types of projects small businesses have used these funds for in the past, maybe to get some ideas flowing to those who are watching?
Absolutely. We've had individuals use it for training, for certifications in different levels of, maybe you're an accountant and you want to get your CPA certifications with the IRS, or you needed a ADA compatible bathroom in your office, that would be something else that would be covered. We've done roofs and parking lots, office furniture, salon chairs, any kind of inventory that you can think of. Food trucks have supplied themselves with a new hood inside their truck. We've also done a lot of food. We've seen go through, which then stirs up events that they're able to make more money on. So anything that can be a growth would be extremely beneficial to your business. That's what we're in to fund.
And the more creative they are, the more fun it is for us to get involved. Yeah. And so we're hoping that you kind of come up with new and different ideas. Don't think about just the in the box stuff, but we still want to help you expand your business. So obviously you need to do something that makes sense for you, but think outside the box, and that will help you kind of stick out to our review committee as well.
Mm-hmm. Can I just add one thing about the application date? The application due date is on March 15th at 5 p.m. and I will no longer be able to accept business plans or anything on that following Monday. This system will shut off at 5 p.m. and I can't undo it. So I just want you all to know that previously that have applied, I can't do that this year, so make sure everything is turned in by that date.
Yeah,
On
and
time.
in that timeline slide, you really see there's so much that has to happen between now and the time that announcements are made on those who are rewarded. So that's really the request. If you like Tracy at all, you'll make sure that those are in by March 15th, because it is really hard to say no for those who just missed the deadline. So if you haven't opened the application to start looking at it, or you're thinking about applying, now is the time to take a look and make sure that you have your ducks in a row, so that you're ready to apply. Tracy, one of the things that you mentioned just now and previously in the presentation was needing a business plan in order to submit your application. So from our small business owners who are watching, maybe they are a little bit newer, only in existence for a year, and things have really just kind of spiraled. But there's always the case where sometimes it's hard to rewind and start planning again from the beginning. So what if those who are watching do not have a business plan in place?
Sure, that's one of the things that we love to help with. There's been businesses that have been operating for 25 years and still don't have a business plan, but requirements of any type of funding or grant programs, a business plan is required, just so we can see that progress within 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it may be. But if you do not have a business plan, you can always reach out to our office, our help desk, and I can send a business plan template and also a link to register with the Small Business Development Center or any other partners that may assist with the business planning phase. That is absolutely free of charge. We will never charge you for any of those services. And then you can submit your business plan in that fashion. They will not write the business plan for you at the SBDC, but they will assist you in making sure that it's top notch for any type of funding.
Perfect, thank you. And another question here from Robert along the lines of the application process. So during the application process, are you able to provide comments or insights as we fill out the application, such as the statement of needs, so that we write it in the correct way?
Yeah, if you have questions about, what we're asking for in the application itself, please feel free to reach out to myself or Tracy, and we can give you a little bit more context into what we're looking for. With the statement of need, we want to understand, why has this project been a struggle for you to get off the ground, and how is this grant program going to be able to help you move your business forward, not only with this new thing, but how does it grow from there? So that's really what we wanted to look for in that specific question.
Yeah, and we really are here to help every step of the way, so long as it is before March 15th at 5 p.m. Please do not reach out to Tracy at 4:59. You can schedule time with her online at our virtual help desk, and that website is up here on the screen. We're also going to be hosting a virtual office hours on Friday via Zoom. So if you get into the application, you have some initial questions. If you have the question, someone else probably has the question. So that'll just be a time for you to pop in, pop out, hear what others are asking, ask your own questions. But Tracy, you're also going to have some in-person office hours at Burston Fieldhouse. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Absolutely, thank you. I will and am at Burston Fieldhouse every Monday from noon until 3 o'clock, but the last appointment is at 2:30. On March 4th and 11th, I will be helping with applications, answering any questions, showing you some tips and tricks, so you can just walk in during those hours, and I'm happy to help.
Perfect, thank you. We're going to head over to a couple of questions that we have from Walter here. First one, I understand minority preference in the process. Is it mandatory that businesses be minority owned this year? And that's a great question, Walter. Eric, do you want to clarify on that a little bit?
Yeah, so no, you do not need to be do not have to be a minority owned business to apply. We just have to hit a certain threshold with who we award grants to. So anyone can apply to this grant program as long as you meet the eligibility requirements so that we have. And I do see another question regarding location or geography. So that's a big question that I have been seeing in the LOI application progress so far, is that a lot of people are applying who are not in the city of Flint. You must be in the city of Flint. Your business must be in the city of Flint. That it has to have an address of the city, and that has to be the city boundaries proper, not like out in Flint Township or maybe Mount Morris and you still have a Flint address. It really needs to be within the city of Flint borders for that to be eligible. So if your business, like if it's on the Laura license that you are out in Flint Township or Brighton or another community, again, make sure that that's up to date because we do look at that to see if you're actually in the city of
So
Flint.
we're looking at business address specifically.
Yeah. The owner does not have to live in the city of Flint, but that business must be located in the city of Flint. And it's not that you serve people in the city of Flint. Your business must physically be located there.
Yeah, and that's a great question, Amy. Thanks so much for asking. Again, I want to put that help desk website up on the screen here because while your business might not qualify for this particular grant program, Moving Flint Forward, you can reach out to our help desk and talk to Tracy and the team about potentially other grant opportunities that could be available to you or could be upcoming. So if you haven't made that connection with Tracy and our small business team already, I would definitely make sure that you're connecting with them so that you're on their list of contacts when new opportunities do become available that may not have these specific requirements. But really good question. I want to go back to another question that we had from Walter. My business plan was written just 1 year prior to COVID, and that kind of devastated my plan. Do I require an updated plan more in line with the current environment?
I will take that question. I recommend that you use your business plan as your directory for your business and always make sure that you're updating it because you don't know natural disasters. You don't know what's going to happen with the next year or so, but that will help bring you back in and help you refocus on what's next. You don't have to rewrite the whole thing. Just make sure that you're keeping up to date with what's happening in your community and in your life.
If there's any considerations that you need to include in revising your business plan, that's exactly fine. You know, we want you to keep that up to date. So if you need to need our assistance in getting that updated, again, reach out to us and we can connect you with the right folks, or we can help you ourselves.
So during the presentation, one of the things that you guys mentioned was that there are 4 mandatory cohort meetings. I'm wondering if we could just have a quick discussion about what the mandatory meetings entail. Tracy, you mentioned that they are very fun. I will add that this is a grant program that is very focused on building community in many different senses. So we're trying to build community by lifting up our small businesses. But there is something so special that happens in these meetings in terms of building community amongst each other. There are always familiar faces in there, but a lot of times we see connections that are happening for the very first time. You know, maybe someone is having a grand opening of their business or new location, and they want another person in there who owns a food truck to bring their food truck and be a part of it. It's just really so special outside of just the networking and the valuable information that is shared, the bonds that are formed within those rooms. And especially year after year, now that we're going into our second program year where alumni are able to reapply.
They missed each other.
Yes, they missed each other. And I know that word mandatory comes with its own stigma attached to it. And we're asking you to come together for an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes 4 times over the course of a year. And as a small business owner, you do it all, right? You're working the front desk, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the accounting. But we want to make sure that you guys are investing in yourselves as well, not just financially, but receiving that updated information, whether it be on banking or marketing or customer service. It's so important to take that time for yourself to really make sure that you're staying on top of these important topics and getting out there and networking. Tracy, what else do you want to add about the mandatory cohort meetings?
One of the things that I would like to add is the mandatory word. One of the trainings is how to take care of yourself first, pretty much. She really making sure that you know the importance of self-health. And we really enjoyed that training, and it was very well received. And the marketing is also a big help. We we want to be here to help you and not just throw money. It's a big, giant effort, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Mhm. So we hope that that won't shy you away. All of those dates are provided up front. So Eric, you mentioned us making the public announcements May 10th, but those who are selected will know ahead of time. Our hope is that May 10th will be that first kickoff meeting. But again, as soon as businesses are accepted into this program, they will receive all of those dates. So you know well in advance when you need to block your calendar off. I want to go to another question that didn't come through the chat, but I had as you were presenting. You mentioned that once individual applications go through that initial screening process, they'll then get an email to apply. Will businesses who did not meet the criteria also get an email to let them know?
Yeah, so you will get notifications from our system on when you are invited to complete the full application. We will also be sending out emails to let you know that you have not been selected. This is a very competitive process. We had almost, I think, 300 applications total last year. So unfortunately, we can't fund everybody. We try to include in that email some resources and some information that can help you go forward as well. So you will be notified either way of what's happening, and it will come in an email format.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you have not connected with our small business team, this is a team, while this grant specifically is focused on moving Flint forward, our small business team serves regionally. So again, making sure that you're really reaching out, you're connecting with Tracy and the team so that you can get on their email distribution list and learn about other great resources that are going to be coming your way, whether it be grant programs, training. There is a lot of exciting stuff in store for 2024. So if you haven't made that initial outreach and connection, I would recommend doing so. As we close today, I don't see any additional questions coming through, but if you are watching this not at 11:30 a.m. on February 27th, please feel free to also put your questions in the comment section. We'll be checking back on those periodically to make sure that all of your questions are answered. But again, this website on the screen is how you can reach out to us directly. As we close today, though, I do want to just go through that timeline one more time. So the program is live, applications are open, and they are due by March 15th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Tracy will not be able to help you, unfortunately, after that time. So please get into the application and start to review it now. As I mentioned, and I will drop in the comments here, we are going to be hosting a virtual office hour on Friday. That's going to be at 10 a.m. And then Tracy is at Burston Fieldhouse on Mondays for in-person assistance. So you have plenty of opportunity to connect with us between now and March 15th. But again, if you want to get some one-on-one time, you can use this link here up on the screen. The review committee is going to start reviewing applications in early April of 2024. Again, apologies for that typo. And the announcement of grantees will be made publicly by May 10th. So once a business is accepted, we are going to expect interim reports due by August 2nd and final reports due at the end of the year by November 1st. Tracy and Eric, anything that you guys want to mention as we close out today?
Just get in there early and start your applications. Remember when you're going through that LOI process to really read the eligibility questions carefully and answer those as accurately as you can, because that determines if you get the full application or not. So yeah, just get in there early. If you have any questions, reach out.
Great, and it looks like Walter is going to be reaching out, so we look forward to hearing from you, Walter. Anything else, Tracy, that you want to add?
Not at this time.
All right, ready to kick off another year. Again, we're here to help, so feel free to reach out with questions at any time, and we will see you guys soon. Thank you.